Milk Minute.
Have a wonderful day, everyone. Peace is not the absence of conflict. It is the ability to handle conflict by peaceful means. This quote by Ronald Reagan shows that conflict is an inevitable part of society. Conflict is a fundamental part of life, and we all come across at least one incident in our lives that is challenging, and we are baffled on what decision is to be made. Such conflicts may be an inner conflict, a conflict between oneself and nature, a conflict between oneself and another person, oneself and God, or one and society. This story, How My Brother Leon Brought Home a Wife, by Manuel E. Argilia, features a conflict that deals with two opposing cultures and how they affect relationships. This story is meant to illustrate the ways in which we are all influenced by our unique upbringings, cultural mores, and even our economic status. As we discover the conflict presented in this literary selection, we are expected to resolve the conflict in non-violent ways. And as a servant of God, I cannot deny the fact that I always encounter people that has different principles, beliefs, traditions, and ideas with mine, but I always choose to solve those conflicts positively. I will always see conflicts as God's opportunity to show His love and wisdom. And the only key to solve conflict in non-violent ways is to show genuine love. Just like what Marias did in the story. She was brought up in a life of comforts in the city. However, she loved Leon truly and was committed to adapt to his lifestyle. That's the power of love. And how to have that genuine love? By having intimate relationship with God. Because God is love. And when you love, you will learn to accept, respect, and sacrifice for the one you love. Stay safe and God bless us all.
Your Communication Hub and Literary Arts Center of Isabela. English Academy.
An analogy describes the relationship between words. Subject, verb, or teacher.
On air. English Academy.
How are you, grade 7 students? I hope you are all prepared for another wonderful learning experience we will be having today. Welcome to another on-air session with English Academy, your communication hub and literary arts center in Radyo Eskwela sa Isabela. Are you excited to enrich your knowledge and skills in your academic journey with us? If you are, will you nod your head? Now, if you're ready to listen and participate with the activities about our lesson for the day, shout, "Yay!" I like that energy, students. Let's clap for ourselves because I believe you are now all set for today's discussion. I am your teacher for today, April Joyce L. Castueras. Make sure that you are on the most comfortable place at home to stay while listening. Hold your English self-learning module or learning activity sheet, English notebook or paper, and a ball pen. I am also excited to be with you today and share about resolving conflicts in non-violent ways. Let's begin. First, let me ask you this question. At your age, do you consider yourself a teenager? Have you ever encountered problems as a teenager? If yes, today's episode will help you learn to solve your problems using the different possibilities in solving conflicts. Good job, grade 7! I hope the previous activity helped you to determine truthfulness and accuracy of a material viewed. Since our lesson for today is about dealing with problems and we should consider them as normal part of life, let us have another activity. It is called React Please. You are going to draw a happy face if the given situation is good and a sad face if it is sad. Are you ready? If yes, shout hooray! Hooray! Great! Let us begin. For number 1, helping your mother in washing your clothes. Is it a happy or sad face? Your answer should be a happy face. Number 2, hiding your sister's or brother's belongings to annoy them. Is it a happy or sad face? Your answer should be a sad face. Number 3, using your mobile phone while eating. Is it a happy or sad face? Your answer should be a sad face. Number 4, asking permission before getting your siblings' favorite stuff. Is it a happy or sad face? Your answer should be a happy face. Number 5, having a serious relationship with a girlfriend or a boyfriend. Is it a happy or sad face? Your answer should be a sad face. Number 6, studying your lessons very well. Is it a happy or sad face? Your answer should be a happy face. Number 7, driving motorcycle without license or permission from your parents. Is it a happy or sad face? Your answer should be a sad face. Number 8, doing exercise regularly. Is it a happy or sad face? Your answer should be a happy face. Number 9, watching Korean drama regularly until dawn. Is it a happy or sad face? Your answer should be a sad face. And number 10, reading your siblings' private messages in his or her phone. Is it a happy or sad face? Your answer should be a sad face. Did you find it difficult to mark each item with a happy or sad face? What are the items that you marked happy face? What about the items that you marked sad face? Why did you mark those items happy face or sad face? In making choices, sometimes you find it difficult to weigh on things that will make you happy or sad. Sometimes, your basis of making choices relies on the satisfaction it gives to yourself. For example, watching Korean drama series until dawn or driving motorcycle even without driving license are some of your choices that will make you happy. There are also things that will make you sad while others will make them happy, like helping in doing the household chores at home or accomplishing your SLMs or classes without being told. The choices you make do not only affect only you but also the people around you. Always remember that in making choices, it must promote healthy relationships. Okay, this time, I will read to you a summary of a narrative entitled A Shawl for Anita by Lolita M. Andrada. But first, let us unlock the meaning of these unfamiliar words used in the story. We have earnest, knit, whimper, shawl, and laborious. I will use these words in sentences, and with the help of context clues, you will arrive at the meaning of the unfamiliar word. You can also use your dictionaries if you have one at home. Let's start. First is earnest. His simple and earnest response has made him win her trust again. What does earnest mean? That's right. Earnest is an adjective which means serious, sincere, or honest. Next is knit. The knitted dress she wore is a mid-thigh length casual wear. What does knit mean? You're correct. As used in the sentence, knit is a verb which means to make a fabric or garment by intertwining yarn or thread in a series of connected loops either by hand, with knitting needles, or on a machine. Next is whimper. The puppy continued to whimper when the girl hardly stepped on its foot. What does whimper mean? Precisely. It is a soft, weak cry usually when sad or in pain. So, whimper is a noun. Next is shawl. I received a very large embroidered knitted shawl last Christmas from my mother. What is the meaning of shawl? Correct. Shawl is usually square, rectangular, or triangular piece of cloth worn as a covering for the head, neck, or shoulders. Shawl is a noun. Next is laborious. He proved himself to be a laborious student and devoted himself in achieving his dreams. What is the meaning of laborious? Very good. It means something that requires a lot of work that is often tedious or difficult. It is an adjective. Did you get all the meaning of the unfamiliar words? If yes, you are now ready to listen and understand the summary of the story written by Lolita M. Andrada, entitled A Shawl for Anita. My mother raised 3 children on her own. She was notable to finish school, but earnestly wanted us all to finish college. With her job, she was able to send our eldest to college until she got a diploma. She was good at knitting. She did everything to raise us all and sacrificed a lot. Mother is very fond of Anita, who was the youngest of the family. She was sickly, and mother was also willing to comply to all her whimpers. My mother grew old and became thin, but Anita never stopped asking favors from mother that made me mad about her. One day, she asked mother to knit a shawl. Mother could not say no, even though the task was so difficult for her. My heart grew sad every time I saw her doing the laborious task, but she never complained. Then, I confronted Anita for being so thoughtless. She touched my arm and told me that she did it for mother. For her, mother needed to find a reason for living, and that if she had no work, she will stop living. I understood Anita and began understanding mother too. That is the story, A Shawl for Anita. Did you enjoy listening to it? If yes, will you shout, "Hooray"? Hooray! Very good. Here's another activity for you. First, draw 3 big circles on your paper. Name them Circle A, B, and C. Draw an arrow beside Circle A, pointing to Circle B, and another arrow beside Circle B, pointing to Circle C. The illustration that you have just drawn is a graphic organizer. What will you do is to first identify the problem in the story and write it inside Circle A. Then, give the possible solutions to the problem and write them inside Circle B. And for Circle C, you will write the results or outcomes. The story that I had just read to you gives you an idea that conflict occurs in one's life. You will encounter conflict in life which will teach you to become what you will be today and in the future. In a story like A Shawl for Anita, there is a conflict or struggle. This is one of the elements of a short story that refers to the issue that the main character is facing in the story. There are two types of conflict. First is internal conflict. It refers to the character's internal struggle which takes place in his or her mind. The struggle to make a decision or to overcome a feeling is an example of this type of conflict. The second type is external conflict. On the other hand, this refers to the conflict between a character and external forces. This type of conflict can be among the characters themselves or between character and another group of people. It can also be between a character and the force of nature, event, or situation. Conflict arises both large and small. It happens at whatever point. Individuals differ over their qualities, inspirations, observations, thoughts, or wants. The key is not to avoid conflict, but to learn how to resolve it in a healthy way. Whatever the cause of disagreements, by learning the following possibilities in resolving conflict and choosing the correct response, you can keep your personal relationships strong and growing. Here are a few conflict resolution strategies in order for you to choose from and apply that will be the best for a certain situation. These are also strategies in resolving conflicts in non-violent ways. First strategy is get angry or lose-lose strategy. Both persons involved in an argument may insist that they are right and would refuse to listen to the other person. In a story, the internal conflict happening to the person narrating the story strongly believes that Anita is abusing the kindness of their mother. She was not able to resolve that conflict in her mind about her judgment towards Anita. With this as a solution, both sides lose and might create a broken relationship. Next is postpone. Both may put off talking about the problem until they are both calm to talk. It is not good to talk calm while emotions are out of control. Instead, talking is done after being calm. Being calm and respectful in communicating increases understanding of other person and strengthens your relationship. In the story, there is also a conflict between the narrator and the mother because she does not understand why does their mother keep on doing favors for Anita even it will be very difficult for her to do the tasks. She remained silent and did not talk or confront their mother. The third way of resolving conflicts is given or lose-win strategy. The other person surrenders to what the other one wants. Using this strategy to resolve conflict involves taking steps to satisfy the concerns or demands of the other person at the expense of the other one's needs. As it happened in the story, the narrator did not insist nor argue with Anita. After listening to Anita's reason, she began to understand her and their mother. Next is get help. The two persons involved in disagreement would also ask a third person to help them solve the problem. If you are in this position, do not take sides. Remember, your goal is to simply help them work out their problems. In the story, it can be the eldest sister to take part in this kind of strategy. The narrator should have sought for an advice about her thoughts towards Anita's actions. The last way of resolving conflict is compromise or win-win strategy. Both persons involved in the conflict talk calmly and find solution that would make them both satisfied. This strategy involves finding an acceptable solution that will satisfy the concerns of all persons involved. Having a reason on the back of her mind, Anita should have told to her sisters about how she feels to their mother of getting old. They should have talked among themselves so that they can help one another in making their mother feel still worthy and valuable. So, those are the 5 strategies in resolving conflicts in non-violent ways. Being able to apply the best conflict resolution strategy effectively is made possible by developing better conflict resolution skills. Examples of conflict resolution skills that can help you include the ability to listen effectively, identify specific points of disagreement, express your own needs clearly, and view conflict as an opportunity for growth. With time and effort, you can learn new conflict resolution skills that will improve your ability to negotiate and resolve issues with others. This time, let us check your understanding on our lesson. I will just ask questions and then you will write your answers on your English notebook. Are you ready? First question. What are the two types of conflict? You're right. We have internal and external types of conflict. Next question. When do human beings encounter conflict? That's right. It happens at whatever point or time, usually when differences arise, either big or small conflict. Next, what are the possibilities or strategies of resolving conflicts? Very good. We have 5. Get angry or lose-lose. Postpone. Give in or lose-win. Get helped and compromise or win-win. Next, why must conflict be solved in a non-violent way? Correct. Conflict should not be avoided. Rather, it should be solved in a healthy way to keep our personal relationships strong and growing. I believe that after going through this lesson, you will become better in developing your relationships with your family, relatives, friends, and other acquaintances that you will encounter in life. For the last activity, given the situation that you have a friend who wanted to enroll in an online class but his or her parents could not afford the gadgets needed, write a short letter to your friend giving him or her advice on how to solve the conflict. Your output in this activity will be submitted to your English teacher. Here is the rubric to be used in scoring your output. The first criterion is conflict resolution skills. You will be rated 3 if all 4 conflict resolution skills are evident. 2 if only 2 to 3 conflict resolution skills are evident. And 1 if there is only 1 or no conflict resolution skill evident. Next criterion is format. You will be rated 3 if you followed the 5 basic parts of a letter, 2 if you followed the 3 to 4 basic parts of a letter, and 1 if you followed the 2 or no basic parts of a letter. The third and last is for grammar and mechanics. You will be rated 3 if capital letters and punctuation are used correctly and produces correct simple and compound sentences. 2 if capital letters and punctuation are mostly used correctly and produces mostly complete sentences. And 1 if capital letters and punctuation are not used correctly and produces incorrect simple or incomplete sentences. Congratulations! You have just learned the skills in resolving conflicts in non-violent ways. Remember to apply them whenever you encounter problems in life. Good luck on your next journey. That's our journey for today, students. I hope you learned a lot in a wisdom-filled discussion in resolving conflicts. For additional tasks, don't forget to answer the rest of the activities on your modules. Read the directions carefully and answer what is asked. If you have queries and concerns, please do not hesitate to ask your alert and accommodating teacher in English. Till next time, my dear students. On behalf of Miss Rolly Ann E. Badwa, our script writer, and the SDO Isabela RBI production, this is your radio teacher, April Joyce L. Castueras, greeting you all a good day.
Patuloy ang edukasyon para sa ating henerasyon. sa daan ng pagkatuto ay walang may iwan.
Kaya halina sa Radyo Eskwela!